Well, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm done with PT for the day, and I've had a shower. For some reason, uh, didn't I misunderstood my schedule for PT today. Part of what they were going to do is put me in the shower, and I've already done that. Um, but I think they were going to try to put me back in PT this afternoon, and I got my bandages wet, my gauze, my wrappings for all my wounds, my nub, everything needs to be re-aced. Uh, so I'm waiting on wound care to come by and do that. So I actually got an early day today, which I'm pretty excited about. But I didn't do an update yesterday, so I felt like I needed to do something today. But I also wanted to talk about all my other injuries and set up the conversation for going down the road, talking about gear, and um, I mean, I've got a little rash. I don't know if y'all can see all the rash that I've got. Most of the stuff is gone away. All the stuff that was on my face, I probably got, I don't know, 700 subscribers that came in from the video of me laying in the bed filming my bloody face, waiting on surgery. Um, but I've got very little road rash. I kind of want to show you. Um, I mean, none of the rash that you see, the missing skin, is from road rash. It's all from inside of my gear, which I guess if you go down at 80 miles an hour, you would expect to have some kind of skin damage. But um, I've talked about my broken ribs. I've got two broken ribs. I didn't talk about my two broken vertebrae, but my wrists are damaged. I can't remember if I talked about that. Apparently I went down like this at an angle, so this muscle here is really damaged. Both of my wrists are sprained, which causes all my PT to be excruciatingly painful because I'm lifting myself up. That's what they want to see. They want to see that you can transfer out of a chair onto a walker, onto crutches, onto a toilet, from your chair to your bed, to your toilet, to the shower. They want to see all that, but all that's excruciatingly painful because of my sprained wrist. This stuff is painful. The damage to my hands is painful, but the damage to my wrist is extraordinarily painful. And for some amazing feat that I pulled off this week is talking them out of or talking them into staying off my wrist because I want to save the little bit of strength that I have in my wrist for when I actually need it, rather than pumping iron in rehab, trying to prove to them that I can do what I need to do at home, because I can. It's just extraordinarily painful and excruciating, and I don't feel like my wrists are getting better um, by exposing them to the torture of PT every day. So, but they've been easy on my wrist this week because of, it's a big request. It's like, geez, I would like my wrist to heal because I'm going to need them when I go home. I don't need to use my wrist in PT. That's kind of, I don't know. It's back to that whole same thing that my problem with medicine has always been. We have our protocols, we have our methods, we have our things. This is how we do it. We do A, B, C, D, D. And when you say, hey, look at the patient has sprained wrist. It's excruciatingly painful. Is that something that needs to be done? Well, I've proved that I can do what needs to be done. So exercising the sprained wrist this week has been delayed or avoided as much as possible, um, because I'm such a smooth talker. And I think when you put it in terms that they can understand, it's like, well, no, we got to see you do a walker. Well, it's like, I'm not going to use a walker at home. It's just not going to happen. Uh, there's no application for that. That was a big step. That was a really hard thing for me to convince them that They want to see me use a walker. That's what everybody at PT does. You got to use a walker. Well, it's like there's nothing that I could do on a walker that I can't do on crutches or in a wheelchair. So those are going to be my two tools. So playing on a walker, hurting my wrist, is just not something that I wanted to do. But I was able to talk them out of the walker. I showed them that I can use a walker. It's very unstable for me because I've got two bad wrists. I mean, I might as well have two broken wrists. They're almost that bad. Um, but yeah, I guess I just wanted to talk about my struggles. Still hoping to go home Friday, it's Wednesday now. Hoping to go home in a couple of days. But surgery's got to come back and look at my stitches to see if they can pull those. I really want to get these stitches out before I leave. Because I don't have access to the medicine that they have here in Brookwood. Not just that, I am. I guess I'll talk about that at some other point. I just wanted to give an update because I didn't give one yesterday. And oh man, this leg itches. I don't get to scratch it because it's always bound up, but this leg itches so bad all the time because it's bound up. Anyway, long hard day in the hospital, and it's not even noon yet.